5 minutes gone past the 5 o'clock hour. Officially welcoming you again to Hard Facts. It's time for A's and Nays, and today we're looking at the story that's been in the news all week: budget padding, allegedly. Please, well, for those of you who have not necessarily been following the story, a senator who's been elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, Senator Ningi, who is representing Bauchi, apparently had raised the alarm about 3.7 trillion naira, which has been included in the budget, but has not any project attached to it. In other words, there's no subheading. You know, when they say you put something on the list, there's no subhead. This is what he's been talking about. But then we saw what happened a few days ago that led to his suspension. There was seemingly a sort of a row on the floor of the National Assembly, which led to sudden prayers being made, and then he was suspended. But there have been several reactions. The former presidential candidate for the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, had also come up to say, well, this wasn't handled properly, should have been investigated. The People's Democratic Party as a party is saying they stand by their senator. And we also remember what Senator Agom Jarigbe, who's representing Cross River North, also for the People's Democratic Party, said about certain senior senators receiving 500 million naira. Now, there's so many accusations going up and down, but Budgit is also in on this conversation, and that's why my guest is joining us today to talk more about this budget padding issue. My guest, Iniobong Usen. I don't know why I'm saying Iniobong. Iniobong Usen is joining us via Zoom. He is the head research and policy advisory for Budgit. Thank you so much, Iniobong, for joining us. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
Great. Let's start by looking at this whole budget process, and I love what Budgit does. You know, by bringing us up to speed with some of the things that are happening in the budget. Because you see, in this country, I've come to understand that when we hear the final figure of the budget, we just scream, so much money, and that's all we do. We just scream, they are killing us in this country. But we never really look through the fine print to see what these monies have been earmarked for, and follow through to see if they really are used at the end of the day, and ask questions, except for rows like this or finger pointings like this that has happened with Senator Ningi. Now, Budgit, you guys have come out also to say that you support, the alarm that he raised, because you also have found that 3.7 trillion does not necessarily have a project attached to it. Explain to us, please.
Okay, yeah, thanks for having me once more. We did not agree with the senator's claims. I don't know. Our global director went on channels a couple of days ago, and I think his submission he was misquoted with regards to his response to that claim. The senator's claim was that it appeared that we were implementing two budgets, that what the National Assembly passed was about 25.4 trillion naira, but that what the federal government was implementing was 28.7 trillion naira. And it was on that note that we disagreed with the senator, because from the budget documents available on the website of the Budget Office of the Federation, the budget that was passed by the National Assembly was 28.777 trillion naira. Now, to the other aspect of the claim, which was that there were no line-by-line items for, projects or for budgets of certain MDAs to the tune of 3.7 trillion naira, we partially agreed with that claim. And I'll break it down for your audience.
Good.
Now, if we are going to, break down the budget into four key areas, that you would often see the federal government present the budget. That's the format. First in line, you would see what they call statutory transfers. Now, these are transfers to specific ministries, departments, and agencies of government. Now, the examples of MDAs that receive these statutory transfers are the NDDC, which is the Niger Delta Development Commission, the Northeast Development Commission, the National Human Rights Commission, the Public Complaints Commission, INEC, the National Judicial Council, which represents the judiciary arm of government, the National Assembly, the Universal Basic Education, and the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, and NASENI. Now, that's the second. So that's the first. That's the first sort of bit. The second bit is the budget that now goes to the remaining MDAs, over 800 of them, like the Ministry of Agri, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, and all the departments and agencies under those supervising ministries. Then the third bit is now you now have the government-owned enterprises. These were entities set up to generate revenue on behalf of government, pay revenue and remit these revenues to government. So you have them as government-owned enterprises. The fourth bit is TET fund. Now, I decided to split this into 4 so that I can carry your audience along.
Good.
Now, the 25.4 trillion naira that the senator alluded to as the budget that was passed by the National Assembly constitutes the breakdowns of those MDAs that listed, the one I said, over 820 of them, the cumulative budget or the breakdowns of those MDAs, and the statutory allocations to the NDDC, to the Northeast Development Commission, to the National Human Rights Commission, to NASENI, to the Universal Basic Education, and to the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund. Now, the 3.32 trillion naira that we do not have a breakdown for constitutes the budgets of the National Assembly, the budgets of the National Judicial Council, the budget of INEC, budgets of the Public Complaints Commission, and TET fund.
Yeah.
And also the budgets of the government-owned enterprises. So that's what makes up the 3.32 trillion naira. Now, is this the first time this is happening? The answer is no. If you go and look at the budgets for 2023, 2022, 2021, backwards, you would see that the budgets that are often presented by the president before the National Assembly would often contain only the breakdown of those MDAs. We have never seen the breakdown of the NDDC budget. We have never seen the breakdown of the National Judicial Council. We've never seen the breakdown of fund, and the likes.
And has it ever been queried? Because you see, because
Yes,
it's a norm doesn't make it right. But has it been queried?
Exactly. Budget has been at the forefront of the advocacy to have all the details line by line, of every MDA, GOE, commission that receives funding from the budget. As a matter of fact, we anchor that advocacy on the need for the federal government to release the budget, the detailed budgets of the government-owned enterprises. And for the very first time, the proposed budgets of the GOEs were released. For the very first time, ever. We got to see the budgets of the GOEs for the first time. I had never seen the budget of the Nigeria Customs Service before, never seen the breakdown of the budgets of Nigerian Port Authorities, and the other, 63 government-owned enterprises. But in releasing the published or in releasing the approved version of the budget, the details, for those same government-owned enterprises were missing from the document that was published on the Budget of Office website. Granted, on the summary page, which was part of the preliminary pages of that document, those summary allocations were presented, in the budget. But with regards to the practice with the budgets of the other MDAs, there was no breakdown for the GOEs, no breakdown for the National Judicial Council, no breakdown for INEC, no breakdown for TETFund.
I want to come back to the controversy as to what the senator said, because he backtracked and said he didn't say that there was budget padding. He was saying that there were monies that were allocated in the budget that did not have a proper breakdown or a project attached to it. But again, let me go to what Peter Obi had said also. He said that, look, these claims and counterclaims over the unaccounted for 3 trillion, which was reportedly padded into the budget, requires proper explanation so as for Nigerians to understand the management of the nation's resources. Now, if, like I asked you, we just keep glossing over it and then one day somebody speaks up about it, should it be something that warrants a suspension? Because I'm trying to understand, why couldn't the Committee on Budgeting hold a session and explain to Nigerians, like they always have these live sessions? Why is it so difficult for this to be explained? I mean, you've told us what the breakdowns are according to the ministries, departments and agencies, and some of the surprises and the shocks that you've had getting to see the breakdown of the custom. Budget is one body. Are there other people like you who continuously push for more and more open budget systems in this country to avoid these kinds of claims and counterclaims?
Well, definitely. There's an open alliance consortium, made up of NGOs that work on, budget transparency, accountability, and the likes. Definitely, there are, other CSOs, other community-based organizations who have contributed to advocacy efforts for improved budget transparency over the years. But if I come back to the first issue you raised, which is around the need to explain, I think at this point, the best explanation that the National Assembly or the federal government can give is to actually release the details of this, or the breakdown of the budgets that were passed by the National Assembly. You cannot pass summary budgets. I mean, TETFund, for instance, has the budget of 700 billion. And we have not seen the breakdown as to how exactly TETFund intends to apply those funds.
Or how they've been applying the ones that they've been given. I mean, they've been passed budgets, so and we don't know what the leftovers are.
How do you even conduct oversight if you do not have an idea of what exactly these funds would be utilized for? How does the National Judicial Council intend to spend over 300 billion naira? How does the NDDC intend to spend over 300 billion naira? How does the Northeast Development Commission intend to spend over 130 billion naira? These are details that we must see line by line in the budget so that accountability actors like Nigeria Info, like Budgit, can follow the money. Without these details being in public, we have no clue as to how these funds are judiciously utilized. As a matter of fact, if you look at the budget implementation reports that are released, the budget implementation of these same entities are not usually part of the reports.
I'm curious.
So the bigger issue here, I mean, I see that a lot of attention has been, placed on whether or not the budget was padded or not.
Yes.
And we're leaving critical issues that should be at the fore of the conversations. And I'd like to even zero in on those issues so that we spend the bulk of our time on those issues.
Yes, thank you.
Now, how did this happen? The president presented a budget of 27.5 trillion before the National Assembly. By the time the National Assembly had reviewed the budget and passed it into the law and forwarded it to the president for assent, they had increased it by 1.2 trillion naira to 28.77 trillion. Now, at face value, you would think that, the National Assembly had inserted projects worth 1.2 trillion naira, I mean, the cumulative value in the budget. But the truth is, from our analysis, the National Assembly inserted over 7,400 projects, in the budget proposal that was presented to them by the president.
Mm-hmm.
And the cumulative value of all those projects comes to about 2.2 trillion naira. And so you ask yourself, where did the National Assembly see the additional 1 trillion naira to, allocate projects, in the budget? So what happened was the National Assembly cut the recurrent non-debt budget,
mm-hmm.
which is the personnel overheads,
mm-hmm.
by about 1.15 trillion. It also cut debt service by 220 billion, and also cut the budgets of the government-owned enterprises by 850 billion.
Wow.
And that's how it was able to create a fiscal space of 2.2 trillion naira to make insertions, over 7,400 insertions. Now, if you look at the nature of those insertions, it leaves a lot to be desired. So you have the federal government trying to, construct or install streetlights in several communities across the federation, install boreholes, build community town halls in villages, pay allowances to traditional rulers. You have, you have empowerment projects. Now, mind you, the federal government, or the executive arm of government, had created a 100 billion naira envelope for constituency projects.
Mm-hmm.
For these same lawmakers, both in the Senate and in the House of Reps, to nominate projects in their constituencies, that are of utmost importance to them, or that serve their interests or constituencies' interests. But what has happened in the past few years is that the National Assembly, using its powers of appropriation, has gone beyond the remit or the limit of that 100 billion naira to now insert projects incessantly or arbitrarily in the budget of several departments, agencies, commissions of government, whether or not those agencies or ministries or departments have the mandate or the technical capacity to monitor the implementation of those projects. I'll give you an example. So you have the National Institute of Agric Mechanization, or the Cocoa Research Institute, which was an institute that was set up, a research institute that was set up, to carry out cross-cutting research, on the agric value chain. And if you look at the budget of that institute, riddled with projects to construct roads, to install streetlights.
How does that work?
Hundreds of kilometers far away from that institute. And you ask yourself, because a senator came on air yesterday, the day before yesterday, to say that it's not these MDAs that are implementing the projects, that they award these contracts. And you ask yourself, if an MDA of government awards a project, is it not within the mandate or the remit of that MDA to monitor the implementation of that project? And you ask yourself, the agric officers or the researchers that work, for the Cocoa Research Institute, do they have the technical capacity to assess whether a road
was properly constructed? Ini, I'm so sorry. We need to go on a break, Ini. But you've opened a new can of worms, and this is the direction I was going to go in, because if federal government is allocating monies to do things that are supposed to be done by local governments, then we have a big problem on our hands. But we'll be right back. Iniobong Usen, I beg your pardon, with Budgit is here with us in the studio. We'll be right back after this break.
Introducing the essence of true authenticity in fragrance, Wazobia perfume, the correct scent, a unique blend that captivates the authentic spirit of Nigeria, now available in both perfume and body spray. Designed for everyone. Yes, you heard it right. Wazobia is a unisex fragrance perfect for both men and women. Its rich and versatile aroma is a statement of inclusivity and unity. Unleash your confidence with every spray. Are you a retailer or do you love to buy in bulk? We've got you covered across Nigeria. Wazobia perfume comes in cartons of 24 bottles and the body spray is available in cartons of 48. Interested in making Wazobia perfume a part of your collection or store? For carton purchases, contact us at email contact@wazobiacosmetics.ng. That is in capital letters, contact@wazobiacosmetics.ng, or call us on 0809-597-5981. 0809-597-5981. Our team is ready to assist you with your orders. Wazobia perfume, the correct scent. Your new signature fragrance is just a call or a click away. Authentic, unisex, confidence. Wazobia.
This is an infomercial. More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Meals, don't compromise. Go for
Rich, consistent taste for cooking mouth-watering soups, stews, and jollof. Choose wisely. Choose Gold. Terra Gold Seasoning Cube.
1 cube. Endless possibilities. Terra Gold.
Big Bull Rice. Big Bull Rice, yeah, in the pot. 7 it up, I stay hot. Stone-free premium parboiled rice. Big Bull in a pot. So nutritious and tasty. Serve it up with style. A cooking delight for that great party jollof rice. Big Bull Rice, yeah.
Big Bull long grain parboiled rice contains protein and fiber, a source of vitamin B, and is great for all rice dishes. Big Bull Rice, tasty rice, nourished you.
Every parent wants to see their child growing up happy and healthy. Introducing Renzo Vitamins for Kids, a secret to your child's daily nutrition and boundless joy. With Renzo Vitamins, your child will have the energy to embrace every moment and unlock their full potential. Give your child a head start in life with Renzo Vitamins for Kids, because a happy child is a healthy child.
Renzo's!
Mom's love is pure. It's so no, she does. Mom's special jollof, it's a smile on your face. Mom's yummy fries, cheers you up. Mom tastes too, nourishes the family. Golden Terra oil, tasty. Golden Terra oil, nourishing. Golden Terra oil, Golden Terra soya oil.
Golden Terra oil helps mom pour her love in the tasty, nourishing meals she cooks for her family. Golden Terra oil, pour pure love.
The question is not why South Africa. The real question is how you South Africa. How you'll come across 1,000 tongues that all speak in one voice. Welcome. How you can wake up with one foot firmly planted in the Indian Ocean and the other in the Atlantic Ocean. How diamonds and couture are but a stone's throw away from the safari. How your tongue will visit 1,000,000 destinations on one plate. How your feet will sway in djembe, your torso in amapiano, and your mind in bliss. How crystal clear rivers flow in the day, and crystal flows in the night. Whoa. We know this because this is how we South Africa every single day. And this is why we invite you to South Africa with us.
Own your moments in South Africa this Easter holiday. Explore new holiday deals at southafrica.net. Come journey with us.
As a mom preparing for a big family party, what's the right soup that goes well with Golden Penny Semovita? A. Eforiru. B. Me and Taushe. C. Oha. D. All of the above.
All of the above.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Correct.
Yes, Golden Penny Semovita is my soup's first choice. Made with premium wheat and enriched with vitamins. It's the right combo for Nigerian soups. Golden Penny Semovita, my soup's first choice.
Who is there?
It's me, Amaka. What's going on? Why is your face like this?
You remember that purchase order I told you about? I have not been able to deliver due to lack of funds, and I am about to lose the supply contract.
It sounds like you need working capital. Ever heard of Grow?
Grow? No, tell me about it.
Grow specializes in providing quick and flexible financing options for small startups or established businesses in need of working capital to keep their business on track.
Attention business owners, listen up. Are you a contractor, supplier, or distributor? Grow is here to elevate your business operations. So say goodbye to delayed payments. With Grow, cash flow challenges become a thing of the past.
Sign up now at www.growfinance.tech
or call us at 0201 3306 201. Grow, empowering dreams.
As you see me so, I belong to the Chop Better gang. Now, why anytime I want chop like this, I be put better things inside. For my yam porridge, after I don't put my fish, I go corn decan with onions, tatashe and ugu, corn season am with correct no cubes for that delicious taste. Because my people, good life now life where you chop better.
Sama all your food with correct vegetables. Come season am with no cubes for that ogbonge delicious taste. Today, chop better.
Hello! Are you looking for a place to get affordable luxury wristwatches, jewelry, and bags? Then your search is over. May Brands Limited is a place where you can shop exclusive and affordable fashion brands. May Brands Limited is the distributor of Fossil brands, authentic Michael Kors, and Marni, Nixon, Diesel, all with 2 years international warranty on the movement of the watch and excellent after-sales service, which involves after-purchase maintenance and watch repair.
Madam Counselor, listen. I love Aisha so much.
Benro, I've been there, done that. This marriage will crash.
But
okay, Benro, you have 7 days.
Download the new Showmax app to stream The Counselor. Subscribe now from 1,200 Naira. Sign up at showmax.com. Showmax, streaming for Africa.
Guy, if I tell you all this plenty airtime and data, where they take flex? Now dash glow dash, you go believe.
Dash get for this kind of economy. I beg you.
There now, as I buy my glow sim, this spirit, I first collect 1,000 Naira welcome bonus, Sarah. As I come recharge, bam, glow knock me 10 times airtime bonus. I also enjoy double data. Join.
Wait, you mean 1,000 Naira welcome bonus?
Yes.
Plus 10 times airtime bonus?
Yes.
Plus double data again?
Yes.
But where's universe now?
The glow break the universe now. You want to try?
Oh, more. No wonder boys they flex anyhow on top phone 247 non-stop. Hey, I talk am.
My people, not let grass grow under your Lego. Go get your glow sim today. Dial *777# to buy and enjoy 10 times airtime bonus plus up to double data. Offer day for both new and existing subscribers there.
Glow Unlimited.
Afternoon wakis. Guys, I dey go topo. I beg you, add more stew, madam. This food sweet. My chest.
Share chest the pepper you. And before you no gree digest for your belly, make you try Jested. Now I might advise people make them they take for the past 26 years. Jested, now brand of aluminium and magnesium hydroxide and simeticon. Jested they for liquid and tablet. Now I might use when chest the pepper me and food no gree digest for belly.
Jested don't dey for new pack now. If after 3 days you never better, go see doctor. Make you read the paper with the inside.
In Nigeria, the weather can change in an instant, just like life itself. Even when you are caught in a heavy downpour or harmattan has left your skin dry, there's one thing that never changes: the restoring power of Vaseline Petroleum Jelly. Because we all know when harmattan strikes, if you are not protecting your skin, it cracks. So do your lips, and no one wants that. So, use Vaseline Petroleum Jelly to keep your skin healthy, smooth, moisturized, and protected all day long, so you can embrace every season with confidence.
I remember being screamed at.
The customer was not going to pay for the Bantu nuts. But giving up was not an option then. And it isn't now. Not even fear can stop me. Be fearless. Be beautiful with Lush Hair.
Lush Hair. Be beautiful.
Good news, Nigerians. Do you know that serving God pays the most? Oh, yes, it does. Hold on. Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and every other thing shall be added unto you." This includes a sickness-free life, marital breakthrough, prosperity, fruitfulness, amongst others. Come worship with us at Living Faith Church, where we are enlightened to live a hitch-free life just by serving God. Are you in Lagos or Otta environs? Join us this Sunday at Faith Tabernacle, Canaan Land, Otta, Kilometer 10, Idiroko Road, Otta. For information on how to come, please call 0813-872-6910. This message is brought to you by Mr. and Mrs. Marvelous Johnson, and we are members of the Living Faith Church.
In Nigeria, the weather can change in an instant, just like life itself. Even when you are caught in a heavy downpour or harmattan has left your skin dry, there's one thing that never changes: the restoring power of Vaseline Petroleum Jelly. Because we all know when harmattan strikes, if you are not protecting your skin, it cracks. So do your lips, and no one wants that. So, use Vaseline Petroleum Jelly to keep your skin healthy, smooth, moisturized, and protected all day long, so you can embrace every season with confidence.
To cook correct food, they always give me joy. That's now why anytime I cook like this, they always season them with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatasheo, shombo, onions. No one will know they put. Now he make my pikin them, they always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You sama all your food with correct vegetables. Come season them with no cubes for that ubonge delicious taste. Today, chop better.
I love Honeywell.
Now your favorite brand, Honeywell, is back. Available in noodles, semolina, and pasta in stores nationwide.
Honeywell is back with it. Everybody come and sing.
Attention, Airtel customers. If your line has been blocked, then this is for you. Head to the nearest Airtel shop with your NIN. Our friendly staff will help you get your line back up and running. Don't let a blocked line keep you out of touch.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
It's a new season of Ramadan, a season of kindness, sharing, and lots of cooking. It's also a new season of Maggie Diaries that will keep you inspired with amazing recipes for every taste and budget.
Showing every day on Z World at 4 p.m. and Africa Magic Yoruba at 5:30 p.m.
Also, watch on Maggie YouTube channel every day. Everyone is welcome. Ramadan Kareem. Maggie, cook the difference.
Tune in to the Morning Crossfire on Friday, March 15th at 6:45 a.m., where we will be talking security and safety of our school children with the use of a mobile app. Kofi Battels will be hosting Mr. Ipadiola Abdouafiz Ademola, the head of business development and strategy at the Tanda Secure Limited, to discuss the rich features and safety mechanism of Tanda Secure app and its benefits to schools and parents. See you at 6:45 a.m. on Friday, March 15th on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Every morning, na better chance to carry your hustle go higher level. So, make you start your day with the correct taste of Nescafe. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
Some call it a disorder, a disability. Having a skin with two distinct colors may seem to others like the end of the world.
Not me. I'm a babe, a speck,
A 10 out of 10. Be unstoppable. Be beautiful with Lush Hair.
Lush Hair. Be beautiful.
One man with the power to thwart death must face the consequence of his actions, because even power comes at cost.
Oyo has been beset by the Akala bird.
Saru, you owe a debt. You must return to undo your actions.
Now, he must rely on unlikely allies.
You have 3 years.
And face new enemies.
Saru must be found. I'm back. Watch our Nicolapo Rise of the Spectre. Now streaming on Netflix with plans starting from 1,600 Naira only.
What takes a plate of jollof rice to the next level of goodness? Is it when it is cooked with no seasoning cubes for that sumptuous taste? Or when you serve it with correct Nigerian salad, cabbage, carrot, lettuce, and a bit of kidney beans?
It's both. Season your jollof with the rich taste of Knorr cubes and serve with plenty of vegetables. So, go ahead and elevate your meals. Today, eat for good.
Do you want your children to excel in STEM subjects? Enroll them today on Get Bundy Education Technology at www.getbundy.com. With over 1,000 hours of science subjects, 4,000 multiple choice questions, 3 years of revision for competitive exams, Get Bundy Education Technology is the right platform for your children to learn and develop needed skills for future technology. For GSS3 and SS3, Get Bundy is offering daily online live lessons Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and mathematics and coding classes on Saturdays. Give your children the right head start with proficient educationist on Get Bundy. Register them today on www.getbundy.com or call 0814-175-5552.
The question is not why South Africa. The real question is how you South Africa. How you'll come across 1,000 tongues that all speak in one voice. Welcome. How you can wake up with one foot firmly planted in the Indian Ocean and the other in the Atlantic Ocean. How diamonds and couture are but a stone's throw away from the safari. How your tongue will visit 1 million destinations on one plate. How your feet will sway in djembe, your torso in amapiano, and your mind in bliss. How crystal clear rivers flow in the day and crystal flows in night. Whoa. We know this because this is how we South Africa every single day. And this is why we invite you to South Africa with us.
Own your moments in South Africa this Easter holiday. Explore new holiday deals at southafrica.net. Come journey with us.
Yes, the Alert 545 promo is here again. Now, even more explosive than ever before. Over 90 million naira to be won. You can't afford to miss this season of excitement. To qualify, fund your account with 5,000 naira. Maintain an average account balance of at least 5,000 naira monthly. Make a minimum of 5 transactions monthly on Alert or star 945 hash. And just like that, you could be 1 million naira richer. So, download Alert today or transact without internet on star 945 hash. Anytime, anywhere. Terms and conditions apply. Wema Bank, with you all the way.
Meals have a way of taking us on a journey. And when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of Knorr seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back to Hard Facts.
It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's still A's and Nays, and we are on the final stretch of the show. My guest, Iniobong. My goodness, Do I know an Iniobong, please? Iniobong Usen is the head research for Budgit, and he's joining us via Zoom too. He's been actually breaking down some very important aspects of the budget to us. And for me, I think that in breaking those details down, I realized that we have really not necessarily cared much about how our monies are spent, what they're being used for, if they're even being used for the said things, and there's no follow through. Because, for example, we have the Kalabaitu Expressway. That road has been bad. I can hit my chest and tell you for the past almost 15 years, it's been bad. Every single budgetary year, monies are allocated to fix that stretch of the road. No one's asking why that stretch of the road is still not being fixed. No one's asking where the money went in the last budget. And here we are in 2024. We're still fighting over freezers and monies allocated to constituency projects that don't necessarily have anything to do with the senators. But it's happening every day. While I get my guests to return, I want to open up the phone lines, Lagos. Join the conversation. How do we get more involved?
Yes, that's correct.
How do we get more involved in making sure that the budgeting at the federal level, at state levels, don't fly over our heads? Thank God that there are the likes of Budgit and other people like them who are asking questions. But we the people that they say these budgets and these allocations are for, how do we get more involved? 0700 993 993 993. Join the conversation. Hello. Sorry about that. Do call me back. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts. Hello. Yes. Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Eric.
Eric, quickly. You have 60 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, I want to ask a question. With all these things that is happening in Nigeria, is there no thing we can do to rescue this nation from these politicians?
Well, let's start by pursuing what's in our budget and what they use our monies for.
In the hand of these politicians, we are in serious trouble. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for calling. 0700 993 993 993. That's the number for you to call. You can send us a message on WhatsApp, or you could join the conversation. We're live on Facebook, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM on YouTube. Someone is asking us to ask our guest a question. Well, the person says, can you ask your guests if there's any way the Nigerian legislature is sued concerning this constituency project money and make it illegal for such monies to be allocated to any lawmaker? They aren't executives there. So you're saying they're not executives. Their work is to make laws and checkmate the executive. It'll be in Tel Aviv. This question is obviously for you, if you can hear me. He's asking, can we sue these senators on this constituency project monies that they keep taking every year?
Well, I'm not a lawyer, but I know that, the Constitution, provides the powers, the appropriation powers for legislators to be able to allocate resources through the budget. But the question is, if you have been granted powers, does it mean you use those powers arbitrarily? Does it mean you use them irresponsibly? Because it's expected that, if you have been granted powers to perform oversight, functions over how the executive, mind you, is the executive that implements these projects. They are the ones that have conceptualized these projects, and try to see how, projects cited in the budget contribute to an overall broad development goal. But then you ask yourself, these insertions by the National Assembly members, does it have any link, with our broad national development plans or goals? Is it in tandem with the policy objectives of the executive, right? Is it going to bring the much desired economic growth and development? I mean, the answer is there for everyone to answer.
I want to beg you for something. If we can have you again next week, because of time, we're going to have to wrap this up. But I want you to come back next week. Let's talk more extensively about these budgets allocations every year. Because before we know it, another budget is going to be drawn up, and then different ministries, departments, and agencies are going to come and try to defend these budgets. But where does the money go? The leftovers of every budget year, especially those ones that have not been fully, let's say, projects that have not been fully undertaken. Where does the money go? We need to have that conversation. So please promise me that you can come back next week.
I will. I'll be available next.
Perfect. But before we go, let's take a few more questions. I think I have just 1 minute before I let my guests go. Let me see if I can read a quick message. Someone says, obviously this message is not for us. Someone is asking about something else in another country, which doesn't concern us. But I want to say thank you, Ini. I'm hoping that you can come back next week. Let's continue this issue on the budget, because I did say earlier on today on the show that what this Senator Ningi's whistleblowing has done is to help open our eyes to look more closer at the budget and ask more questions so that nothing flies over our head. And maybe that way we're able to hold our legislators more accountable, even the executive, even the government, whether it's states or federal government. Iniobong Usen is the head of research with Budgit. Thank you so much for joining the conversation, and we look forward to having you back next week.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and have a lovely day.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, Lagos, there you have it. We've got to go on a break. But then after that break, I'll be back to say my goodbyes. But don't forget, if you don't come away with anything on this conversation today, this is a call for you to pay closer attention to where all our monies go, to all the things that our monies are allocated for, and to, if they're being used right. And if they're not being used right, you have every single right in the Constitution as a Nigerian to ask questions. And you know where to start. Your local chairman, your governor, your House of Representative member, your senator. Of course, they have no right to implement projects, but they can allocate. We'll talk more next week on this side of the clock for A's and Nays, but we'll be right back after the break. Stay with us.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the
99.3 Nigeria Info, we are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.